this broadcast, please respond. My name is Nobody, and I am a survivor. I have an underground bunker and supplies. I repeat, if anyone can hear me, please respond. Good morning, evening, afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back for day 6 of How to Play 7 Days to Die. Now, today, well, last night, actually, I did as I said, and I updated the base. Basically, I just upgraded made the spikes, put them down, upside down, just like we had in the last video. And I went ahead and upgraded them one time. You'll need steel to upgrade them any further, so I wouldn't recommend trying to do that. The other thing that we have to worry about here is the wood frames. So I'm going to take the wood frames here that I have. I'm going to take 25 to fill in this hole here. So we want to actually come up here and just drop a wood frame in all of these holes that we have. By doing this, we'll be able to shoot through the wood frame and kill the zombies. I've actually tested this one out. I did that last night because I had a couple screamers come up while I was working. So there was that. I actually had to come up here because there were too many zombies down there for me to handle. I don't like handling the zombies while they're running if I don't have to. Like, see right here, we've got a group of people over here. I'll just show you how this works. Let's grab a couple of them. We go over here, we might be able to. Yeah, we got a couple of them over here. So all we have to do is stand on top of here. And they'll come to us. Well, if I can get them off the wall there. Okay, they'll come to us. And they'll lose their legs on these spikes. And all you have to do is shoot them. Now, this gives you a good way to shoot them in the head pretty easily, because they'll kind of slow down and get still there. So you can just take them out one by one. And this is what we're going to do tomorrow night on Horde Night. So that's basically all you have to do. Like, if you get a roaming horde, you can actually grab them all up and bring them on the spikes as well. Now, I do recommend keeping them fully repaired at all times. That'll help quite a bit. I think we're going to work today on actually finishing up the base here. I want to go ahead and fill in these spots here and maybe finish off our little pattern thing that we're working on here. So hopefully we can get that done by the end of this episode. This isn't necessarily something you have to do. I'm doing it because I like to spread out the bodies on Horde Night. Because if they die on top of each other, see, we lost one of the bodies here. If they die on top of each other, ooh, iron leg armor. We're definitely going to read that. We want to make that as soon as we can. I've been working on my armor plan, or armor smithing as well. But yeah, if they die on top of each other, the bodies will actually disappear. So I actually recommend, if you're going to be using shotgun turrets or shotguns of any type, to go ahead and chop these bodies up. Because you will definitely need the bones. So, the more you get spread out, the better off you are, basically, is what it boils down to. Now, I've got clay, and I need to make up a bunch of, first, I need to make arrows. And I also need to make cobblestone rocks. So, we'll just queue that up and go about gathering. We're gonna need plenty of wood before we're done, so we might as well go grab the wood. We're gonna get all the rocks that we could possibly need from the underground part, but we will want more top rocks as well, because they actually give everything that you need. So I recommend, if you're gonna go mining just to mine, I would actually hit the top rocks, because they're going to give you everything you need, where if you're underground, it's only going to give you stone and iron. So when I'm chopping down trees, what I like to do is I like to head and chop down every tree around the base and just move out from the base. That's usually the best way to do it. Alright, we're going to chop that one. We got a friend coming over here. Now, if you can't get a good beat on a zombie, hit him in the chest. It'll knock him back or down. So, it'll give you more time to actually take care of him. And if you're impatient like me, you can actually chop them through their regular body phase down into the gore block there. Just like that. I'm hoping everything sounds good. I am using a different setup than I'm used to. I'm actually using my the program that I use for Twitch and recording with it. So, because it does better with the cam. So I just wanted to make sure everything sounds good. And I also moved my mic a little bit from where I usually keep it as well. Now it's less in the way. Alright. It never hurts to get too much wood. There's no such thing. Wood is probably one of the most needed things in the game. So go ahead and just chop up a bunch of wood if you can. Whenever you've got a lot of time to wait for stuff to be crafted or whatever, you should be gathering. That way you never run out of things. You'll still run out, but nowhere near as often. And it'll give you more time to actually keep crafting. And there's a motto in the game called ABC, always be crafting. It's generally a good idea. That way you don't ever have to really wait on too much. I wish I followed that a little more closely. Alright. Like crafting arrows when you're going through town, crafting something for your base while you're working on your base, crafting while you're crafting anything really while you're mining and gathering. Now, I'm grabbing a lot of cotton here because we're going to actually get into making armor. And we're going to need a lot of cloth for the armor. I don't pick up the snowberries because they're really, in my opinion, not worth eating. You can eat them, however, if you eat too many of them, you'll get like a little food poisoning. And they're generally not a good thing to eat, so I try to stay away from them. Alright, I missed a zombie here. Go and chop it up. One thing I just noticed is this one doesn't let me know how long I've been recording. Interesting. I think it's mainly set up for streaming, so... Where OBS is actually set up for recording more than anything. Well, OBS actually is for both streaming and recording, but I'm using Streamlabs OBS for this. Hopefully we have the same quality and everything. I guess I'll find out after I upload. Alright, so I'm making the cobblestone I needed now, and we've got plenty of cobblestone made up. That's good. I'll just continue to do it while I gather. Now, this right here is not really going to give us great resources, so I like to just collapse these by just taking out the entire bottom layer. I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is a good trick if you don't need the resources, but you need something cleared. You just take out... Basically, you collapse it, is what we're doing. We're taking out the whole bottom part here and leaving the top to fall in on it. Once you take out enough, it'll collapse. And then you've got a lot less cleanup to do. See, this is just like digging underground. You don't really get a lot of good resources from it. Although we will be glad to have all the rock that we're getting in the future when we get to concrete. Okay, I gotta wait a second. Good way to build your stamina back up, by the way, is whenever you're low on stamina, just drink some water if you can. It'll give you a stamina boost. Coffee is great for this. Anything like that. Coffee, alcohol of any sort. Now, I generally save all my alcohol for horde nights when I'm going to be running around if I've got a good melee weapon. Okay, so we've been seen. Yep. And another reason why I like to stealth while I'm doing this is just that I know when I've been seen, so I don't get attacked from behind. I've been playing a lot of CB mod lately, and it is a crazy mod where you have hordes of zombies all over the place, and they'll come up, and most of them are runners, and they'll kill you pretty quickly. So you actually have to stay stealth when you're doing everything, just so you're aware of when they're aware of you. Otherwise, you're going to die non-stop. But I do not recommend that if you're actually watching this guide for learning purposes. That is a very hard mod to play. That's when you're wanting something way more advanced than what you've been into. In fact, talking about mods, the ones I would recommend for beginners, according to what you want, I'm actually going to do an entire video on mods coming up soon, like maybe how to install them, and also which ones would be good for beginners and what you're looking for. But for beginners, I generally say if you're going to look into mods, like full mods, I would go something like Undead Legacy if you like the building aspect and want to improve on that. Or maybe War of the Walkers if you like the killing zombies part. But we'll get into that in a future video. I don't want to give too much away on that one yet. Okay, so you see how I'm just taking out everything on the bottom here. And that's pretty much what you want to do, is just take out the bottom. And drink some more water. There we go. And that's how you collapse. See, it just leaves a little bit of piles here that you can easily go through. Instead of spending all that time to get... Ooh. Alright, that's sand. Okay, I'm not too worried about sand at the moment. We've got a desert over there that we can hit. And out of stamina, and I think we're full on water. Yep. So we gotta wait for the stamina now. Yeah, if you need sand, the best place to go is the desert, obviously. And we've got some desert right over there too, so I'm not too worried about it. Pretty close by. Now, I think we're done there. Yeah, we're done with that. See? Just got rid of that whole big rock just by collapsing it there. I'm going to go ahead and chop him up. I don't remember if it was a him or a her, but it doesn't matter now. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and cancel that because we don't need that much. I think we've got enough now to do some... Maybe finish the base? Oh yeah, we definitely do. We'll go ahead and make up all of these and swap it with that. Now we just have to wait on these blocks to finish. I might as well at least lay this out first. Let's see. We need 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright. So this is where we need to lay that one. Which means we'll want to lay this one right here. Alright. Go on and lay this one across. Now I'm just going to go far enough out here to where I can place those two. I don't go down from there because of stability issues. There is a very good video on YouTube. I believe it was Max Fox did it on stability. You might want to check that one out. It's pretty interesting. Now this one, we're not exactly going to go 5 out on this one because we want to keep it somewhat symmetrical. There's really no way to do it with the way that I did the inside there. So I'm just going to go out from here and basically fill in that little gap. And we will need to, as well, I can't reach it from there, so I'm going to have to go down here and do it. Alright. There's no way I can really grab that from... Yeah, there is. Good. If you go down, you're going to put too much weight on these, and they can fall. Which is why I don't want to do that right now. Now, we need to go 5 out this way. Basically, make that 3 wide. And... there we go. Do the same thing over here. And there we go. Now we can lay it across here as usual. And do the same thing for this corner over here. We'll have everything laid out, and then all we have to worry about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now all we'll have to worry about, I'm gonna have to wait on some more, is doing the wood, and we should be good on that. Alright, I need something to stand on here, and I don't have any wood frames. I won't need any more of those, so I might as well just queue up some wood frames. Scrap, I need wood. What can I get rid of? I'll scrap that. And go and use the rest of those. There we go. Now we didn't lose any of that, and we pretty much have what we want to build with the base here. Now we still need to put spikes down here. I'm probably not going to worry about that too much before Horde Night because that's a lot of metal that we're going to need. That's going to be a long-term project, so might as well go ahead and make up a bunch of wood frames. We can do 374. Yeah, we're going to use 374 before we're all said and done, so we'll do that. And we can put these down from up top or below here. I'm just going to put them down from, or put them on from below. And this will be a completely solid horde base. We're going to upgrade all these wood frames with iron bars before it's over with. But that's a long-term project as well. Wood frames will work for the first horde night. Maybe the first 3, actually. Before you get your spitters. But when the cops come in and start spitting all over the place, you're going to want to replace these wood frames because they'll just eat through the wood. In fact, they do a pretty good job on the iron bars too, so be careful with that. Here we go. And we've got one more to do. Almost done. There we go. We are done. Our horde base is looking pretty good. Now, I added some ladders over here. And you remember what I told you about them not being able to jump? This bottom ladder being missing here is the key for this. Otherwise, they will get to you. You have to jump to get up there, but they can't jump, so they can't climb up there with you. Now, one thing we are going to have to worry about are the spider zombies. They can climb these little sides here. So what we want to do is we want to put a lip all the way around. Anything will do. As long as they just can't get up this right here, we're good. The only place you really need it is right there, actually. So it's not that big of a deal if you decide not to put it everywhere. Like, the only place, like, I would recommend putting like 3 here and then 3 here, so you could get rid of all of these if you wanted to. And then on these, just go 3 wide. This will work perfectly okay to keep the spider zombies from getting to you. Now, this right here, I always do this. I'm not sure if it's necessary, but I like to give myself a little hole to go through on those. The spider zombies, I don't believe, climb ladders. And if they do, you'll only have one up there with you, so it's not that big of a deal. We're going to go with the easy way, or like the materials low way of doing this for now. But later on, I will actually fill it out once I get the iron bars, because I like the way it looks better. But that's the only reason. And you can go further out too if you want. But there you go. That is a completely 7-night horde-proof base. You see, the traps even hurt us, so we got to be careful with that. And every time that they take damage, or every time that they do damage, they take damage. Remember that. So you will have to repair these. I think I'm going to go ahead and leave this episode here, though. Now that we've got this done. And tomorrow we'll come back and maybe go do some loot run. Or we might even start thinking about building a farm somewhere. So we'll figure out when we get here what we should do based on what we have. So I will see you tomorrow. As always, people, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like to show your support for the series. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see more, show that subscribe button some love. Be sure to click that notification bell to be notified of my daily releases, and maybe one of these videos on screen is of interest to you as well.